Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be tying the Straggadelic Beetle. This is a very large beetle pattern. I'll show you in size comparison here when I get done tying it compared to a typical black foam beetle. So this is a TMCO TMC 5262 in the vise here. We're going to be using Semperfli black Nano silk. This is 12/0. And we'll get our thread started here. So I'll lay a pretty good foundation just because we're going to lay some super glue down to secure our foam here. So I'll do a good first layer here. Cut our thread out. And we'll do one kind of lazy, uneven-ish layer here, just to have something for that glue to hold on to real well. Okay, so our body of our beetle is going to be made out of two different types of foam here. I have Hareline 1/8 inch black foam, and then I have Hareline, this is Blaine Chocklett's Loco foam, Northern Lights color as well. I'm going to glue these two pieces together here, and I've already cut them to size. So each of these pieces of foam is about 1 centimeter wide, or about 7/16 of an inch wide here. So that's about how wide I have it. So again, quite a big piece of foam here we're going to be tying in. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is going to take the iridescent Loco foam here, which is going to be a good back for this beetle. It's going to look very beetly. I'm going to take that piece, I'm going to lay it down with the iridescent side down here. I'm going to take some brush on Zap-a-Gap here, super glue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and kind of paint one side. Just kind of be careful not to get an incredibly large amount. This stuff dries really fast, as most of you know, so gotta kind of be kind of quick with it. And we're gonna lay that down right on top of one another here. So I have just glued both pieces of foam together with the Loco foam on the top here. And unfortunately, both of these pieces of foam are not the same lengths. We'll have a little bit left over here. Let that dry for just a minute before we tie it in. Okay, I just accidentally tied that in upside down, not paying attention. So let me show you what I wanted to show you. Okay, we're going to take this foam now and we're going to tie it in with the iridescent side down because later we're going to fold this foam back over where the iridescent side is up here. So like I mentioned earlier, we're going to paint some glue on this thread base here that really help this foam adhere to the hook, and it'll kind of keep this foam from rolling over as it gets used over its life. So make some spiraling wraps to the back of the bend of the hook here. With this Nano silk, be very careful not to cut through this foam. So at the end here, I'm going to make quite a few turns before I kind of really bite down. And again, this stuff is really strong. highly recommend using Nano silk or some other very strong thin thread, because you can really lay a lot of thread wraps down here without adding a lot of bulk. Back here, just going back to the bend of the hook here and bring our thread forward. Okay, now we're going to take some Semperfli Ice Straggle Chenille. This is in black. This is going to be the body, underbody, and the legs here. So I'm going to take this, tie it in on my side. It does not have to look pretty, because this is all going to be covered up here. Nice and tied in here. We're just going to palmer this forward. Moving those fibers out of the way as much as we can to create a good buggy, leggy looking underbody here. This fly was developed because I am traveling to Patagonia in a few weeks, and I didn't really have any beetles that I thought were big enough for what I wanted. So I thought I would tie a big variation of the foam beetle with a little twist to it. Get a couple more wraps here towards the eye. I'm going to take this Ice Straggle Chenille and kind of fold it over. I'm going to take my big piece of foam and fold it over for the top part of this fly. Get this lined up where I want it. And again, be very careful if you're using Nano silk or another small diameter strong thread to not cut the head off here. So I'm going to do quite a few turns before I kind of tighten here. Okay, the next material I'm going to use is going to be just some orange 2mm foam. This is from Hareline as well. This is going to be the cider on top. I have no formula for how wide or how long this is. I just kind of cut a piece that I think is going to be easy enough for me to see. We're going to stick that right on top here. A couple turns just to keep that in here. Now for the legs, I'm going to use this is MFC barred Sexi-Floss. This is gray medium. You could use black round legs. You could use just about anything for the legs. The legs honestly probably don't matter too much. Piece out. Take that, cut it in half. One set on one side, and the other set on the other side. Get this placed where I want to. And then again, we're going to do a few turns here before I do my final pull to really secure those legs and that foam down. I'm going to jump my thread behind the eye of the hook here. I've kind of got a lot of material here at the eye, but it really doesn't matter because this thin, again, is very, very thin. Or sorry, this thread is very thin here. So now I'm going to whip finish, holding this foam and the legs back. As many as you wish. Cut this thread out here. Okay, now we got to do some cutting here. Again, for the head, I don't really have a formula. Just kind of take your scissors and cut. Good little head shape here on the front. And then these legs are going to be about almost the width of the body wide, sticking out here. Then we're going to take all this eye straggle string hanging down and kind of these fibers lined up here. Pull them down with my finger and give them a little haircut. You can continue your haircut after you finish this fly here, but I'll stop trimming there. And the last thing I'm going to do is just to further make this even more durable, I'm going to take a little bit of super glue. You could use resin as well. I mostly use resin most of the time. Super glue is just going to soak in a little better as it dries. I think it'll be a little bit more durable on this guy. So that's the Straggadelic Beetle. Again, a very large beetle pattern. I'll been tying some regular black foam beetles as well. So there's your size comparison. This is on a number 11 hook here. So quite a large beetle pattern there. There's a few I tied earlier.